Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Zeus Kerravala, back for day 9 of the 12 Days of Cloudmas, and I'm delighted to be joined by Craig Walker, the CEO of Dialpad. Now, Craig, before we start, I've been asking everybody this question, and I want to know, I'm trying to test your childhood memory, what was day 9 of the 12 Days of Christmas? We know day 9 of the 12 Days of Cloudmas is Craig, but day 9 of Christmas?
9 Lords of Leaping. Is that right?
Lords of Leaping comes a little bit later. We're into the people phase, and we're out of the bird phase, so that's always good. Now, you are as I mentioned, the CEO at Dialpad. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what Dialpad does.
Sure. Name's Craig Walker, CEO and co-founder of Dialpad. We're a cloud-based enterprise communication system that does conferencing, phone systems, contact center, and then we infuse all of that with real-time artificial intelligence to convert the calls to text, give you real-time coaching while you're on the call, and then give you coaching after the call and let you analyze and search and get a lot of insights from all the conversations in your business.
Now, you have a pretty robust product. We're actually using a product called High5, which you recently acquired. But even before the acquisition, you had a meeting solution, and you went out and you bought this other meeting company called High5. Why did you think you needed to add that asset to a portfolio that you already had that was already pretty rich?
Yeah, so we launched our meeting solution, Uber Conference, in 2012. And we wanted to solve all the biggest problems of audio conferencing at the time, not video audio. And so we got rid of pins to dial into. We gave you a UI where you could see who was talking and you could get information about the person who just joined, who just left, and really kind of solving the problem of dialing into a conference call. About 3 years ago, we added video to that as video was gaining in importance. And as we saw with the advent of COVID, that video was becoming more and more and more important. And High5 was a company that we had known as a bit of a competitor for a while, and as former Googlers as well, that had focused solely on video for the last 8 years. So we knew if we could bring them into the fold and put Uber Conference and High5 together, we could basically have the best of both worlds and really improve our video capabilities as part of our overall stack of phone system and contact center and artificial intelligence, but really beef up the video conferencing capabilities. And those guys have done nothing but that for the last 8 years, and they're a great team. They all joined, and we're happy to have them.
Yeah, and I was pretty familiar with High5, and I know one of the things they really did well was rooms, right?
Yeah.
And so I think, during this COVID phase, obviously we've all been focused on these virtual meetings, but their unique differentiator rooms, correct me if I'm wrong, is actually multi-vendor interoperability. Is that right? They can you solve that big problem?
Yeah, they have two great things. They have a bunch of great things with the room solution, and you're exactly right. Although we're all working from home now, by summer there's going to be a good chunk of people going back into the offices, but there's still going to be a good chunk of people staying at home. So you're going to have nonstop meetings where the rooms in the offices become really, really important to work with the remote workers. So they had focused a lot of their energy on rooms. So 2 things they do, or 3 things they do. One is they have the ability to start a meeting on any device, walk into a room, and literally press a button. It'll move from your phone or move from your laptop and go straight to the monitor in the room. You don't need to go set it up with anything on the desk or have a tablet in there. Literally, you can just drive it from your phone or your computer. Number 2, if you already have hardware in a room, like say you have a big built-out room with dangling microphones and speakers in the walls and stuff like that, they have the ability to interop with that, so you don't have to lose the investment you've made. And then third, and really interesting, is this thing they call Meeting Connector, where you can use the same High5 equipment to join a Zoom meeting, to join a Hangout meeting, to join a High5 meeting, to join a Blue Jeans meeting. So the rooms become pretty versatile, and they don't become these single-purpose rooms, which is pretty silly. Like you go into real estate, or like we're looking at real estate right now, and you walk into a room and here's the Cisco room. And unless you're on a Cisco meeting, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just a wasted room. So having that flexibility and really having the ability to make existing hardware, new hardware, and make it work with your own devices, it was really one of the things that we found super attractive.
Well, as a person that attends meetings from all different vendors, that's pretty cool being able to do that. So another part of your portfolio is contact center. Tell me a little bit about that. I know one of the big differentiators for you is artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And so what have you done there?
Yeah, so we acquired a company about 3 years ago named TalkIQ, and they did real-time artificial intelligence. And they were built in a modern stack. They were built using Google Cloud, as are we. And so we were able to integrate them into our core telephony offering. And so when you're on a conversation or when your call center agent is getting a question, you can set up real-time recommendations or real-time answers. So if someone asks about pricing, it'll recognize that trigger word and pull up an answer for the agent in real time of, hey, here's the pricing for all our products, here's a link for more information. And so you can start not only make that agent more intelligent in the call, but then the entire conversations are transcribed to text, and you can go search later and find out how many times did a competitor come up over the last 6 months, or what was the sentiment score of my support team, and is the sentiment score of one team higher than another, or is one product higher than another? And you can really start getting insights into what's being said with your customers. So that's we've done nearly 1 billion minutes, or maybe even more than 1 billion minutes on that. We're incredibly accurate in our ASR. We do great benchmarking against Google and others. And we think that's going to be the future of contact center, is not just connecting agents with customers, but making those agents smarter.
Now, I know one of the interesting facts about your contact center is you're one of the few vendors that actually have a single stack that offers both UCaaS and CCaaS.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of vendors out there that sell both UC and CC, but they're basically different products, right? So outside of purchase order integration, right, what's the benefit of having integrated UC-CC stack?
Yeah, so the integrated stack makes it so much easier on the IT team and on the entire organization. So there's, just on going to the IT team first, when you have a single vendor, you have a single client, you have a single app that you're supporting around your organization. Number two, it gives you the flexibility to pull people from who aren't contact center agents into, you can just flip a switch and say, this guy's now a contact center agent for this contact center or for this line. And it gives you a lot of flexibility to flex up in a holiday or a peak season and flex down when you don't need it. The third thing is it lets the agents be able to go access and message and call with anyone else in the organization who isn't in the contact center. So that's pretty awkward if you're running different stacks. That's super seamless if you're running a single one. And then most importantly, it all goes through the same analytics, the same AI, the same analysis. So it's not just like you can get analytics on or artificial intelligence on your contact center, you get it across your whole organization. So if you really want to have a vision of what's happening in your company and what your customers are talking about, having that unified stack really lets you do that.
Well, there you go. So don't forget about the meeting rooms and integrated UCC stack from the voice of Craig Walker. Now, it's late December, and that's the time we industry people get asked for some predictions. So I'm going to ask you a prediction. Tell us something that, what should we expect in 2021 in the communications industry?
I'd say more unification. It's always been very bifurcated of, conferencing here, contact center, UCaaS here, if you want AI here, if you want kind of a sales dialer with some other add-on, and messaging, the Slack and the Microsoft Teams type stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if you see that all coalescing into a single, really easy to use, unified product that's going to make businesses just run so much better. And frankly, with so many remote workers and so many people not being able to be supported by IT, you're also going to see a real consumerization of these products, of how do you make it really delightful and easy to use for an end user, just because people aren't going to put up with clunky, bad, poorly designed products just because they're enterprise products anymore.
Yeah, well, that's the whole Microsoft sales model, right? Is poorly designed, clunky, but I'll sell it to you in the license. So, yeah. Anyways, and that's good too. Actually, I've been waiting for these stacks to come together. They've been separate for so long, and a lot of your competitors still sell them separately. Well, they sell them together, although they're separate products, partnerships. So kudos for you for bringing them together. So that brings us to the end of day 9. I'll be back with day 10, but I want to thank Craig Walker, CEO and founder of Dialpad, for joining me.
Zeus, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.